Okay, I believe we should be live now. Morning, everybody, and welcome to another stream of the World Championships in Veldhoven. I'm here with Greg Humphreys, and Ron Smith should be making an appearance sometime in the near future, hopefully. Um,
Hi,
and
everyone.
okay.
We're still waiting for the 10:45 matches to start.
Yes, yes, exactly. So we are. In the meantime, we're watching the U21 USA versus France. The match we'll be featuring today is the U26 USA versus France, but we get to see a sort of a younger version of that matchup here.
Yep.
Okay.
Four spades went down. Yeah, that's unavoidable.
Yeah. We're sort of jumping in at the tail end of this match here. As of right now, it looks like France is leading USA by 25. There's three boards to play at this table. The other table is already finished. And at some point, we'll probably jump over to the U26s when they start. But in the meantime, yesterday when we switched over to U21s, they had a series of extremely interesting hands. So we'll see if that's the case
Hmm.
here as well. But
I'm impressed that North-South stayed out of this four-spade game. It's not bad.
I mean, it looks like a game I'd almost want to be in, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I have if
two
trumps
two
split,
trumps,
I
kings.
have probably
Yeah,
two losers and pretty much a lock for something in one of the minors.
yeah. You just need one of the diamonds on side.
Yeah, surprising that Leo didn't choose to bid again after hearing partner jumped two spades in this auction with four card support and a singleton. Um, this two spade bid is somewhat preemptive over the redouble, but still, it certainly still shows offensive interest. And with the south end, I'd be inclined to want to bid.
Yeah, I mean, maybe with an opening, maybe with a redouble on your left, maybe your ace queens and the minors are less, they're more suspect. I don't know, but he did well.
They did certainly did today. That's for sure.
Even so, I mean, you would. I mean, just two trumps it's almost cold. You can try to rough out a diamond king, which works on this hand. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, certainly I would want to be in at least three spades, and red at imps. I would be remiss not to be in four. Okay, and how are we doing with the? We're sort of
There's
waiting for the view graph to go live of the. Um,
oh yeah, it's not live. I
yeah,
mean, there's
yeah. So I've
there's
over the course of the week have gotten sort of mixed information about what It seems like some of the broadcasts will be slightly delayed. Some of them may not be. I think they're testing out some. The WBF is testing out some of the BBO delay software and trying to figure out what works best. So that makes for a little bit of a tricky experience here, but we're gonna make it work. So
what's happening. I haven't even what's happening to three hearts here. Okay,
it seemed to
what a
have
weird
been
way to win an
making
imp, but
right, exactly, exactly. But I mean, I would imagine that he's supposed to be a little bit disappointed to see that you know, they only won an imp, but you know, game seems fairly normal. Certainly competing to 3 seems a given.
I was gonna say at first glance, 11 tricks and no trump on this hand seems like a lot of tricks.
It really does. Although, if every time that East is on lead, they're going to have a little bit of a bad time.
Oh boy.
Like, I mean, even as again here is North, maybe facing a red no trump overcall at imps. I think there's a lot to be said for bidding Stamen and inviting. This is not it's not the most intuitive, right? So I think honestly,
Yeah, but I think it's good. Your red overcalls should look like real, you know, like they're not a bad 15 usually. You have an ace and a king, lots of 10s and 9s. If you do hit your partner with a major suit. Plus,
yeah,
these hands are usually pretty easy to play because you know where all the points are.
certainly, certainly. I mean, and so the implication of that, of course, is that with some of the better 7 counts, especially vulnerable, you should be inviting, because partner can have 18, and a lot of especially over these red overcalls, partner's not messing around, and I think I see people pass with 7s a lot more than probably they should.
Maybe they've been burned by a bunch of undisciplined one no overcalls.
That's fair. I mean, in this, I guess in the same vein, people do overcall more 14s with one no these days, but feels like they're asking for trouble.
It's true. Whenever somebody has a 14 count that isn't really a good shape for a takeout double, I think they get so frustrated that they're going to get shut out of the auction that they just close their eyes and bid something. Either like double with the wrong shape or they overcall a no trump when they shouldn't, and then partner bids with a 7 count, and then they're yelling at each other. And
right, exactly.
This is a good advertisement for not messing around.
That's for sure. I mean, I think there's just so much value in actually having your one no overcalls that the moment you start being really frisky with them, you lose the ability to get to game when partner has a 7 count. You lose the ability to actually benefit from your one no overcall a lot of the time.
You might also lose the ability to make a penalty double if they bid something.
That too. Yes. Yes.
I know that's a real argument against light openers in third seat. When it goes past you and you've got some 8 count with like ace jack 5th, you're like, oh, I want partner to lead this. You open one of this and it goes a no trump double. Like, how do you feel?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So are we
Oh, it looks like they've just set up the tables now. There's nobody sitting at them, but I see U26 round 9 USA versus France.
Okay, cool. So that is the match
they're brand new.
Okay. So I guess maybe we'll hop out of here since this is a rather dull 3-0. Of course, it was a little interesting as to how they wound up taking 11 at the other table, but yeah. So we'll go ahead and hop over to what will be our main match for the day, which will be USA1 versus France. The under 26s, I guess. Okay, I believe you that they're all right. Well, sorry for the jumping around. There we go. Okay, we'll give them another couple minutes to get that match.
I've got it open over here. I'll
okay. Cool. Thank you. Because it seems like perhaps they have a 15-minute delay live today. That would make sense since the match technically was supposed to start at 10:45 and it's now 10:57. So So seems like this 3-0 Olivia is not particularly happy to be on lead. Maybe she'll, since partner led a low club, she might be trying to decide: do I, return a low club and try to, make it look like partner has an honor there, to maybe score their 10, or do I cash the queen and lead a club to them, hoping to find them with maybe Jack fourth? But I think, given that Declarer, given that Declarer won the first club, she has to be imagining that Declarer probably has the ace jack of clubs.
Yeah, it would be so routine to duck from ace third.
Exactly. I mean, it's a little surprising that he didn't duck from ace jack third, even. But,
Well, Olivia did play the king at trick one. Maybe that
yeah.
painted a different picture. Because it could easily be from queen 10 fourth, and now you're just losing the first four tricks in the ace of spades. Or not the first four tricks, but I don't know. That could make the hand a lot more tricky.
Right. I mean,
Just looking at the north-south hands, like you don't have an...
Yeah. Yeah, Olivia might have had king 10 third of clubs, where now the club suit would be frozen if he wins the ace in the first round. And so, that is understandable. And in fact, that's kind of the impression I think Olivia wanted to give here by playing the king of clubs. But, now she might be able to, depending on what the ending looks like, she may be able to get on lead and...
yeah, I mean, he's probably just going to lead a diamond to the ace now and exit a diamond.
Well, he has another good heart, right? The good heart.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, pressure on Olivia.
Maybe he should have cashed the ace. No, that doesn't work.
No. This is actually good because now, regardless of whether Olivia started with the queen of clubs or the 10 of clubs, now he can pitch a diamond from hand and lead a club one, he already has 9 tricks, so there's a little bit less risk of something terrible happening. And two,
right.
Whatever the situation is, East will have come down to 1 club. So that's indeed what looks like happened here. And so are they a little bit more live over there now?
Nope. It's still just a blank table.
Okay. Cool.
Nope, there we go. We've got cards. No
All
names
right.
at the things, but we should switch over there.
Okay. Well, if we have cards, then there we go.
We've got cards.
So we should start at probably not Ben and Kevin's table, is my guess, because
Oh yeah,
this way we
Kalesnik
can watch the fast table and then switch over and watch the other table catch up.
Yep.
Finn and Zach are, let's say, not on the slow side. So.
No.
So yes, and as of right now, we could, I put a link in the chat to the results a little while ago, but USA1 is leading currently, and I believe that France is in either 5th or 6th. So, both teams are very much qualifying at this point, and I would say both teams are probably they were favorites to qualify before as well. So
this is round 9 of how many? 22.
Yes, yes. I
okay.
So. No, I think it might even be 24. There's a lot of rounds.
Well, I was just looking at the link you posted, and U20. Oh, that's women. 20. There's 23 rounds. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So just take the average of the things we say, and that'll be.
Yeah, and as you said, USA1 is in first place right now by looks like 10 imps.
Yes, they're 10 VPs. Yes, so like half of them.
Sorry, 10.
Yes.
Yep.
So here we see everybody kind of has their own suit, and north south understandably looking to force a game with a good 6-card suit in a major and 12 points, even though their queen of spades maybe looks a little bit worse. Certainly when Finn hits 3 spades, it looks a little worse. And north south I mean, South is probably going to bid four hearts over this, but that has, two spade losers, a diamond loser, and a club loser, just off the bat, and maybe one more in the wash.
Do you think you could ever bring yourself to defend with an opening hand and a six card major?
It's pretty hard to, honestly. Um, I mean,
It seems like the bridge equivalent of a in poker is called a crying call, right? Like you're beat, but you kind of have to do it anyway because it's just it's cheap insurance and they're gonna do it at the other table and so forth.
yeah, yeah. No, that's very much true, and I think here, partner doesn't have to have a 10 count with just complete garbage, right? Sometimes they'll have a little bit better of a hand.
Right.
Sometimes maybe one of my finesses or more than one of my finesses will work. Um, there's a lot of good things that feel like they can happen, but not enough of them are happening here today. So yeah, I would imagine that Finn will cash a couple spades. He may lead a third spade, absent any better ideas of things to do. Presumably, Zach will either encourage in diamonds or discourage in clubs to make it clear that he has the king of diamonds, and that will get him off to a fairly good start, hopefully. So,
Yeah, there's almost nothing for South to try. I mean, he's just going to take a diamond finesse or something.
right. I mean, you kind of as declarer. I think he may even play for the drop in hearts, because as declarer, thinking about single dummy, right? If we're looking at just the north south hands and you're playing four hearts, the first thing you're gonna think is, well, how can I make this, right? And really, I need to only lose two spades as a starting point, or sorry, I need to lose two spades as a starting point, and I either need to get rid of my club loser on long diamonds, or I need to win the. I need to have a winning diamond finesse and pick up the clubs, right? So it feels like I would be, as declarer, I might be tempted to just try to bang ace king of hearts, dropping the queen, because at least then I can draw trumps, lead a diamond to the queen. If that wins, I make it, right? Or at least I'm a heavy favorite to. And if that loses, as long as the club suit is frozen, I could still potentially rough out the diamond suit and get back to dummy with the ace of clubs. But here, after ace king of spades and a diamond shift, declarer can't be feeling very good about their chances, because this really looks like it's a singleton, right? So at this point, when Finn puts the 10 of diamonds on the table, declarer can be pretty sure that he's going down at least one at this point. The only question is,
Finn's perfectly capable of shifting to the 10 from something like king 10 third or even king 10 doubleton. If from Finn's point of view, looking at that dummy, if he has that holding, he's like, oh no, the diamonds are going to come in, right? So he might need to do something dramatic here.
Yeah. I think declarer should finesse, because that's really their only chance at making this contract, right? Is if Finn is trying to do something tricky from let's say from that king 10 doubleton or king 10 third, where the finesse wins, and then all of a sudden the hand sort of opens up quite a bit. So we see the other table did in fact stop in three hearts. So they will be rewarded for their slightly less enthusiastic bidding, I suppose. Not every, I guess, to be fair, not everyone would open the north hand with one diamond. Some certainly might open two or three.
I mean, Kevin Rosenberg is sitting north over there. I mean, I'm fairly sure he's going to open a diamond, but it might be their style to open very light, and so you might treat the south hand as an invitational hand.
Yes.
Like if
Yeah.
your style is to open most or all 10 counts, then you really can't force game with hands like that.
Right. Right. So here we see Declare did in fact take
Yeah.
the diamond finesse, which show I suppose is a bit of a sign of respect for Finn in some in some way that he is certainly capable of returning the 10 of diamonds from King 10. But also like it's the bridge play, right? You take the finesse, and when it loses, okay, life sucks, but you kind of had to do it. And here, Zach's return of the 9 of diamonds, I think, is sort of a bit of an attempt to give suit preference. Maybe there's some weird situations where with Jack 9, a third, he should be returning the Jack here, right? To sort of to really try to get partner off that club shift, right? As in fact has happened here today, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, when he plays the 9 back, Finn is almost certainly going to think that Declarer has the Jack.
Right, which like there's
But
some of these positions where the 9 is actually the correct suit preference card in that you make Finn think that Declarer has the Jack, and so that the 9 is the highest remaining, right? Uh,
mhm.
Whereas if you return the Jack, that looks more like it's sort of it might be a little bit less suit preference, right? Because you might just have Jack 9 where you need to return an honest card. I don't know. I think he probably should have returned the Jack though, and just make it clearer for partner generally, and really try to get partner to not shift to a club. And had Finn returned a third spade, Declarer would have had a problem because they would have no transportation to dummy to take a trump finesse, and they would still need to sort of they would still have some work to do, right?
Yeah,
But now, Declarer will, I guess, maybe
I guess
he
go down
did he
2.
did lose one more trick, so I guess he maybe played for the drop, but
Yeah.
or maybe the one of the challenges with BBO ViewGraph, of course, is that you have a real human operator at the table and who's making all of these, who's entering all of the cards played and so on, and that's not always perfect.
It is a surprisingly hard job.
It is. It is.
I've done that a few times, and especially when you're playing at a fast table, the players all of a sudden show their cards and shuffle them back up, and they've already pulled their cards from the last board, and you're the one there trying to interrupt the world championship match, saying, how many tricks did you take? And it's like,
Yeah, it's a tough job and certainly often a thankless one, but
right.
yeah, yeah, it's so if we thought that the last hand was a slightly questionable 1 diamond opener, how do we feel about this one? Ay, ay, ay.
Oof. I mean, I guess that's their style.
Yeah, I mean I honestly I would just I especially when I have a hand that has kind of a rebid problem like this one, right? When partner bids a spade, I'm like, yeah, I guess I bid a no trump, but you know, doesn't feel great. That even nudges me further down the path of like maybe I don't want to open the bid. Um, but this is an interesting auction for North. The partner did overcall a vulnerable 2 clubs, and even though you only have a 6 count, they're a pretty good 6 count as far as those are concerned. I'd be tempted to bid 3 spades here. I'd be very worried that I'm getting our side way too high, and it's and it could be wrong. But if you don't bid here now, you may get just frozen out when you have a red game. Especially if your opponents are opening Drek like this, you do have to get in there and stick your neck out a little bit to to be able to not lose major suits.
Yeah, I think. I mean, he's got a sixth club, and it's fine. I gotta, I gotta stop watching the other table. It's so loud. Or turn off my sound. It's distracting me.
Okay. But yeah, so I think if North can muster up a three spade bid, that'll get them to four spades without too much trouble, which is in fact a very good contract, right? Or I shouldn't say a very good contract. It's on a trump finesse, or you might be able to set up a sixth club or a club for a heart pitch, assuming the defense doesn't get hearts going super early. So today, of course, the trump finesse is on side, so it's kind of.
I think the defense is almost 100% going to just bang diamonds.
Well, I mean, if imagine as East, right? You lead the king of diamonds, and partners raise, so that maybe they're supposed to give you count, right? And so you see, okay, there's no more future in the diamond suit. Where else are we getting tricks? Okay, we need to build a heart trick before the clubs are good, right?
Yep.
And you can imagine that, because Declare is a little short on entries, if the defense gets hearts going, four spades, wow, that's more spades than I would have anticipated. But it does have the effect of getting Zach to bid five diamonds, mostly as a save in his mind, even though his partnership has had a somewhat constructive auction here.
Yeah. This looks like it probably goes for 500.
Yeah, yeah. So it is a good save, just barely, which at imps is is a little bit risky, right? Because sometimes four spades might not have been making, or partner has the wrong hand, and you still go for a sizable number while the other room can't make game, right? But
This, I mean, North has really caught an exceptional dummy. Wow, five spades. Okay.
well, and here, especially if they're playing the king ass for count, I think Zach will find a heart shift, which will really put the pressure on Declarer to be able to build the pitch in time, right? Because on a heart shift, right, he wins the ace, takes a spade finesse, draws trump, leads the jack of clubs. That gets covered. He does best to duck, but Zach can now play another heart, and that kills Declarer's last entry, right?
Yeah.
And so a heart shift at trick two beats beats
There we
it.
go.
So well done. I'm going to guess that Finn did not in fact play the four of diamonds, but
Maybe they don't play standard count. I don't know.
they might as well. Like this is where I guess not having the exact cards played at front that as you would have with tablets is a little bit tricky, but here.
Do we have oh, here, if you click on on Zach's profile, there's a link to his WBFCC.
Yes, exactly. So
Which is just a Bridge Winners PDF, by the way. But it does say they play upside down count, standard attitude. No, so it says it's upside down both. But man, there's a lot of text on here. They may have special agreements at the 5 level, who knows.
Right, exactly. I would imagine they probably do. And so now we can see that this heart shift at trick two, and for I guess I should go back a little bit. It's really hard to fault South for bidding five spades. Partner red white jumped to game all by their damn self. Like, I have queen and a spade in support. I have ace
Five
king
controls.
ace outside. Like I if partner can't make five spades facing this, they didn't have a four spade bid to begin with, and they didn't, right? Like they don't.
Yeah,
they don't, and even still,
North
spades
caught,
is like touch and go.
North caught an exceptionally good dummy.
Yeah. Well, in fact, but unfortunately for him, he caught such a good dummy that when they competed to five diamonds, partner bid out, and of course, four is the limit on best defense. So, because look what happens, right? Zach covers the jack of clubs, and Declare can do no better than to duck. But now a heart return kills the last dummy entry, while Finn. Oh no!
Oh no!
No, that will do it. So maybe Finn did play the four of diamonds, and they got their wires crossed, because a heart return kills the dummy entry, and would essentially make Declarer unable to establish their clubs in time. And to address the questions in chat about delays, it seems like at the moment they have a 15-minute delay, and I think that's what they're going to be working with for the next few days. Although, I've kind of gotten it seems like they're experimenting still. So we are sort of at the mercy of when things go live. If and when we have time where we don't have a match live just yet, we're trying to sort of watch some U21s and so on. But as of right now, it's a 15-minute delay, and we'll run with that. So this was very much a missed opportunity for Finn and Zach.
I don't know if you can see this on your broadcast, Adam, but the view graph operator says that the director was called to the table, that the wrong card was pulled, that the diamond 3 was on the table, but like someone called the director because he like pulled the wrong card or something, made it to play. That's what the view graph operator is saying in chat.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. I don't currently have the chat up. I guess I could make this a little bit smaller. Yeah, there we go. So we can. Yeah. So the director at the table, wrong card was played. Diamond 3 was on the table, so weird play. Okay. Yeah.
Horn Lake is in the chat.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Hi, Horn Lake people. At ACBL HQ. Wow, it looks like we're just competing to have worse and worse diamond openers. This is the third board in a row that somebody has opened a diamond with, I guess, something that would make Rothstone roll over in their graves. I'll say that.
This is sort of an example of, I mean, I guess again, like I don't know their styles. Maybe if you play a style like I've played with some partners where you open almost every 10 count, that you never ever have the auction pass a diamond, a no trump double, because your past hand partner can't possibly be doubling a no trump for penalty.
Yeah, I mean,
so maybe there it's like it's free basically to open light in third seat. This one, I don't know, it's weird. Like you have all this defense, you don't want a diamond lead, but I guess it's you stick with your style, whatever it is.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be a little tempted to open at a heart if I was going to open in third.
Yep. Or if you have a weak 2 diamonds available, you could try something like that if you wanted to be offbeat.
That's pretty offbeat. I find that the third seat openings with like 8 to 10 often struggle a bit because you have enough values and enough defense to where it's actually it's kind of troublesome, but not enough to where you actually can make things that you bid. So here, Zach sort of in between a rock and a hard place over 3 diamonds, choosing to make a takeout double rather than introduce clubs on the 4 level, understandably. And I think Finn will probably check this out. Seems like the other room may have had a little bit of a bidding mishap to land in 3 clubs.
I thought we were following the fast table.
I good point, honestly. Yeah. They somehow we seem to have found ourselves at the slower table here, but
I don't think they had a bidding mishap. By the way, I think they just play precision and East jump shifted into his club suit.
I see. So let's have.
I'm
gonna go while they're. So it looks like Finn did in fact pass this out. So just quickly, I guess pulling up, it looks like. Oh, East. I see. So right. So East played three clubs down three. That which makes sense. And so instead here we'll have North South trying to make three diamonds doubled, which seems like a pretty tall order. Uh,
Yeah. This
and,
lead isn't gonna make anyone particularly happy.
well, I mean, it doesn't actually cost a trick
Doesn't hurt anything,
for
but
the
it
defense.
might feel a little bad at the at the outset. You
Well,
still get your
when
two
it
heart
goes
trick.
low, Queen King, you actually feel pretty good as East, right? What you really don't want is for it to go low Jack King, and to later
Mm,
find out partner also has the Queen, right? Uh, so Zach. I
yeah,
mean, Zach has a nightmare of a lead problem. I certainly understand why he wanted to lead a low heart here.
yeah, it's an awful hand to lead from.
Yeah.
What you also don't want to have it happen is it goes low Jack Queen, and you discover that partner has played the Jack from King Jack, whatever.
Yes,
Uh,
that as well. Yeah,
that's
that
not
as
a good feeling.
well.
All been there.
Yes. Right. Well, because if partner understandably says, "Oh, well, partner's not going to underlead an ace," I'll find out where is the queen.
Yep.
Well, they find it out, but we'll be a little bit sad to find out partner had ace 10 third. Um,
So
but
this looks like two heart tricks, two spade tricks, and however many diamonds Finn can collect. At least two.
yeah, I mean, I certainly I think it's at least down one or two. I mean, if when Finn is in with the king of diamonds, he'll probably put a spade through, and if Declare doesn't take a club finesse right now to pitch a spade, then
Yeah.
you know I, they might even be able to get they get two spades, a spade rough, a heart over, another heart. That's five. That's five right there. A diamond. I probably down two. Um,
Chad was asking why Zach would lead a low heart instead of a club.
I think
And
I don't know. Thoughts, Greg?
well, I think that I mean you're in this position where any lead could blow a trick for sure. And I think the heart lead is actually a little less likely to blow a trick. Right? North South aren't likely to have like your partner doesn't have four hearts because he sat your takeout double. I mean, maybe he could if he had a ton of diamonds, but it's not that likely. So, it's not like you're running into queen and one, like it's not like you had two heart tricks and they're gonna disappear. Whereas it's entirely likely that you lead a club and you just discover like queen third in the dummy and ace doubleton and declarer's hand and your club trick just vanishes.
Right. It feels a little bit less bad to lead from ace 10 third versus this sort of messy king jack fourth or king jack fifth, where you might just blow a trick. It's also worth noting that that South did not make a negative double, right? So South probably doesn't
Right.
have four hearts, which maybe it increases the likelihood that a heart won't necessarily blow tricks, since you
Yeah,
aren't leading
that's
through
true.
this
You
likely strength.
South doesn't have four hearts, and your partner is very unlikely to have four hearts. It's almost like the hearts are just known to be 4 3 3.
Feels pretty likely. Uh, so here, Declare did in
It's
fact
just, it is
take the
true, by the way, that you in three clubs you have an 8 card fit and you have four trump losers.
yes,
Just
yes.
brutal. Ugh.
I suppose you could lead low to the king and then up to the eight twice, right? Or up, and so I think you can arrange to have three trump losers, but in the process you probably lose a bunch of other stuff. So,
So if this goes for minus 300, this is going to be a funny push,
uh,
right?
no, east west at the
Oh, is
other
it the other
table.
way? Is it the other way?
Right,
Oh, they're both
exactly.
collecting.
East
Never mind.
west are playing three clubs
Yeah,
down
yeah,
three.
yeah.
So
So this is going to
so
be a nice win.
exactly. So Ben and Kevin at the other table have a plus 300, which
Yeah.
is a very nice score as for North South. And
Right.
at this table, seems likely that Finn and Zach will also be plus 300.
Yes.
So that'll be a 12 pickup for them, which will add to their lead a bit.
One of these hands that I have scored as a push on my scorecard many times, only to have my teammate, our opponents come back and say, we have us by 15, and we're, what do you mean? We have it as a tie, and to figure it all out.
Yes, yes. It is important to note who played the hand, whether
Yeah,
North South
yeah,
raised
yeah. I
first.
usually do write that down,
I,
but just
right.
somehow when your teammate reads out plus 300 and you look down at the 300 on your scorecard, it's so easy to just be like, oh, push.
It's more fun when they read out plus 790 and you do the same thing. Um, but yes. So here we see that Finn seems to have chosen to rough this third spade, which is an interesting choice, seeing as he has some losers to pitch, and you can tell that since partner overcalled, declare is probably over roughing.
Yeah,
This
is
doesn't
he worried about
seem
getting trump tight and end played somehow?
maybe, but his trump spots are bad enough that
Yeah.
his best shot is simply just having like scoring his little trumps on declarer's winners, right? Because like he just has terrible trump spots. Um,
Oh, your audio just completely changed.
oh yeah, sorry that's the
No, it was
closer I.
better. I think it was better when you leaned forward.
Oh really? Okay, then maybe I'll try this.
Not not that far forward.
Okay, okay. I I have to play around with sort of where the microphone is in this setup, but
Well, look, I mean, any position of the microphone is going to pick up the dulcet tones of your voice, but don't swallow it. I wonder
okay.
why he roughed this. I really can't. This is breaking my brain.
The only thing I can think of is that maybe he missed that Declare pitched a spade on the second club, and also missed what the spade spots were, and
Oh, maybe he didn't. You think maybe he didn't
he may
realize
have
that
thought, oh, Declare pitched something else or didn't pitch on the third club, and so I need to rough this because Declare has a spade higher than the nine.
I
Um,
see. That's possible.
but it's
I think
hard to
it's
say.
likely to.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah. So
oh, I see. The
yes,
operator says that they missed the play and there will be a claim. Yeah, okay.
yes, yes. I should actually have a little room for the chat so that we can follow that here. Um,
Yeah, sometimes the
but I think
operator is
yes, yes. No,
doing stuff.
this it's actually very nice that our operator here is letting us know these things, which is
Right,
actually a
right.
bit of a rarity for for ViewGraph. It seems like
It's hard.
they only
It's
went
hard too
one
because
down.
the typing from the view graph operator can distract the players. So if you're gonna type, you have to be really light on the keys and not chat.
Yes,
If you're between hands, it's fine. But yeah, I agree. I really like it when the view graph operator is interactive.
yes, yes, absolutely. So thank you to ViewGraph D2. Who is this? This is I guess we don't get a name, but
Yeah, they don't show.
nonetheless, thank you. And yes, so here we see a really spectacularly fitting hand where North South can actually make slam in either red suit, um, because they just have three small three spades opposite a void and four dead clubs opposite a stiff. Uh,
Yeah,
so
six spades doubled is par. I mean, you have to bid these 22-point slams.
yeah, well, I mean, North will open, South will splinter, or I mean, maybe South bids two diamonds, and like it's at least it's in the game to at least sniff around at this, but um, I
Well,
suspect
maybe you're going to get some sort of Michael's bid from Zach here, and
right, right. Well, then you might get a what is this like that? I don't know. Interesting, a three heart opener.
whoa, three hearts double.
I have to admit, I like the double from Zach. I think three spades just is very committal, and this at least gives you a shot to survive some of the time when.
And four spades is also making.
Yes, four spades is making. Five, not so much, but
Let's see.
I would think that North, having heard this auction, this feels like the type of hand and the type of auction where you would want to play doubles as I want to bid, right? Sort of an
Hmm.
action double. By the way, I agree, Hero Boy in chat. I like four diamonds rather than four hearts. It tells partner what to lead if they bid out, and it ensures that when partner will value their diamond cards more highly, and perhaps you might have even gotten a you know four diamonds, four spades. Maybe partner bids five diamonds, right? And you probably are still not going to bid six, but you at least have brought partner into the picture and can make those high level decisions a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's
But
true. Four hearts is pretty unlikely to buy the contract. I don't know. Maybe with Queen 10 third, you think you have some shot of buying it. You don't know partner has this very offbeat three heart bid. Well,
not
offbeat. I mean, I don't know their style. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's expected for them to have this kind of hand.
Well, I mean, I think it's more a question of even if they bid out to five clubs, you kind of want partner to be, you kind of don't want to be making this decision all by yourself, right? You'd like to be able to have partner one lead diamonds if they are on lead, and two to potentially evaluate their hand a little bit, knowing that you have diamond stuff. Uh, but
Do you think
today
he claimed?
this is a pretty straightforward. I have 12 winners. I probably a beer.
Yeah, I was wondering if he claimed the beer card.
I would hope so, but
Hope the view graph operator is going to
yes,
tell us.
yes, and
It's
yeah,
a good argument for avoiding six diamonds. Can't
it
score
is
the beer.
it is a compelling argument for playing in hearts rather than diamonds. Yes, yes. And for the chat, people who are unfamiliar, the beer card is the seven of diamonds, and when you win trick 13 with the seven of diamonds, and when diamonds are not trump, uh, some people play that you owe your partner a beer, and so and of course you have to be able to win it without risking the contract and risking basically risking over tricks and so you have you can't blow tricks trying to score the beer basically, but yes,
Yeah, because bridge isn't hard enough without layering additional silly games on top of it.
exactly. Okay, so we seem to, I guess, have a little pause here. Not sure what's going on.
I don't know. Maybe the director came back to talk to them about the previous board or something.
That's very possible. Uh, this is quite the window trap opener from Zach. Um,
Whoa.
I'm not sure
They
what
don't. They don't play a weak no
trap.
trump.
So
WBF convention card says their no trump is 14 to 17.
that is decidedly not 14.
It's not.
I mean,
But Zach is a much better bridge player than Christian Jolly. I'm sorry, than me.
yes, he does have nice spots. I will
Have good spots.
agree with that. And when you know that your opponent is on lead and is going to start attacking one of your like long suits, that's also rather helpful.
Yeah.
But
Gosh,
I mean,
it's still not enough though, is it?
we're getting there. I mean, I think he still needs to build heart winners, right?
Yeah.
And
North is
ironically,
having to
this
make.
lead has knocked out his entry to those heart winners, right? So, you know, he has four diamonds, two clubs, a spade.
I don't think.
He's going to need some help from the defense to get more. But North pitching clubs is great for him, of course, because
do you think he really ducked the? Do you think he really ducked the?
Yeah, well, because
Oh yeah, sorry, he'd already pitched on you.
He doesn't want to make a pitch from his hand, right? So Because if
Convention
he pitches
play.
from his hand, it starts to give away what it gives away the game, right?
Yeah.
Whereas here, maybe South returns a heart, they get their wires crossed, and they wind up not only establishing one of his long suits, but both of his long suits.
Mm. Oh, they do have the system summary form linked, so that's a little better.
Yes, but I
But it
mean,
still says
right.
14
This is
plus.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't think you will find anything that suggests that this is in their no trump range.
No.
But you know, and to his credit, Zach will probably take a lot more tricks than perhaps he should on this hand. But this is still yeah, this is still a little
Zach is
out there.
cooking. I mean, it's weird. Like he's not tilting. They're leading this event, so it's not like he's like, oh, we gotta. This is just he thinks this is a 1-0 Trump opener. He's obviously not. He's got a world-class partner sitting across from him, so he's not operating, and he's got a pretty sizable lead in the event.
Yeah, I
And they
mean,
did what they
this
needed to do against the weaker fields in the team. These big round robins are a format that maybe a lot of people aren't familiar with, where you have like a pretty large field. There's 24 teams, right? And some teams are substantially weaker than others. And it's really important that when you play those teams, you collect a lot of victory points against them. So it could be very frustrating to sit down against a team that is pretty inexperienced and just get a bunch of boring flat hands where you can't generate any action. And they did that. I think they blitzed the team in last place.
yeah, those blitzes against the sort of the lower teams are pretty important in
Yeah.
being able to being able to win these round robins and things. So, you know, I yeah, like the sometimes trying to create a bit of action in a match against a weaker team is understandable because of that. But um, you know, France is well placed and certainly not or shouldn't be counted as one of those weaker teams. Um, so yeah, this seems like Zach just having a bit of fun or going on an adventure, and we'll see how the defense
Yeah, I mean,
goes.
obviously Finn bumped to 3 with this 10 count, as chat pointed out. So, you wouldn't do that if you were expecting this to be in your 1-0 range.
Right, exactly. If you told me partner could have a 5-3-3-2-12 count, I might, I don't know, invite with my 10, but um, that's obviously not a good. Finn bid as if Zach had what he said he had, and if he doesn't, that's his own problem. And
Correct.
so South has a kind of a tough problem here on defense. He needs to figure out to win the ace, to cash the ace of spades and return a spade to build their spade tricks. If he doesn't, then it's potentially possible that that they might be able to that Declare might be able to build their heart suit still.
I'm never going to argue with you about analyzing bridge hands, but he could also just cash the ace of spades and play a heart to the ace, right?
Yes, that is true. They do already have, which is why actually Zach playing the 9 of spades is a little odd. You would think that he would play for North just to have the ace of spades and he'd win the king of spades, play a club to dummy, and run the diamonds, play another heart, and hope.
And also Zach can't conceal the nature of his opening anymore, right? Like, because it went heart to the king and Zach didn't win it. So
Yeah, it's right.
his
Exactly.
partner's marked.
I mean,
Like
Zach
Zach's
might
marked
have
with the
done
queen,
with, but
with
yeah,
ace queen.
maybe.
Maybe
Like if
it's
just as a
just a
like
push,
yeah, yeah, 3 no down
just
one
a push,
versus 1 no
guys.
down one.
Yeah, easy game.
Yeah, but I am actually a little
Oh,
surprised that he didn't play the king of spades on the spade shift.
I'm not going to disagree. This is an excellent 12 count. Like,
Oh
as
oh oh!
balanced 12 counts go, This one is tippy top. I love it, but
Right,
you
right.
know,
If we're making a ranking of balanced 12 counts, sure.
yeah.
But
Right.
I
If someone came to me and said like I'm going to kidnap your family unless you open a no trump with a 12 count, what 12 count would you like? This one's a pretty good one. Maybe the
yes.
10 of clubs would be better,
And
but whatever.
Bork, yes, I realize that North is a passed hand. I guess it's a question of whether South is more likely to shift to the nine of hearts holding the ace, or whether North is truly marked with the ace king of hearts. In which case, South does have to have the ace of spades. That is a good point. Because Zach did know that since North was a passed hand, they can't have both the ace king of hearts and the ace of spades. Here we go, something civilized, a six card suit, but he is vulnerable, and so Zach did choose to pass.
Right. It is. Chad also pointed out accurately that the convention cards that are linked on BBO are the Zach Grossack, Michael Rosenberg cards. So they're just wrong.
Yeah, I believe that there are somewhere or another there are
And the
convention cards for the players here.
yeah, there's a link to them. Someone cleverly named Eli Culbertson, who I don't think is a current Twitch user, but I love the name. Did post a link to the PDF for Finn and Zach's convention card. If you scroll up a little in the chat, yeah, it's weird. Like they've got the system summary form for Zach and Rosenberg, and then they've got the WBF convention card for Adam and Zach, which is not a WBF convention card. It's a Bridge Winners card.
Who knows?
It's fine. Eli Culbertson, man. How's it going? What were the 1930s like?
There's some rich players you could still ask that question.
Yeah. I have a book by Eli, like an original first printing book by I have one from Culbertson and one from Sam Stamen that I found. Like there was some regional where the bookseller had like a bunch of rare out of print books that they were selling for nothing, like $4 from a book by Sam Stamen. Like, hello, yeah, yes,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it was wild. Like I don't know, like someone found a bunch of books in their grandma's basement and was like, what do I do with this? And they took them to the bridge tournament.
Huh. So here we see North has a hand that's too good to splinter over partner's spade opening. So they start with some sort of two-no trump that's a raise. And here partners show presumably some sort of extra values, probably with either extra spade length or shortness or something. And now they're just bidding exclusion, right? So this 5 club bid says, hey, how many key cards do you have outside of the club suit? Which, with the North hand, it's a practical choice, perhaps, but I'd be more worried about figuring out what partner has in the red suits, because I need to know that partner has a red king or some shortness there or some other something else to work with when I'm trying to decide whether to bid a grand slam or not. So here it looks like this 6 heart bid is probably asking something along those lines, right? Do you have the king of hearts, or do you have something extra in the heart suit? And grand is not amazing. Like you have, on its face, it's making, right? Because you can take a diamond finesse, but you have a lot of work to do. You have 4 club losers to roughen the dummy. You have a lot of finesses and other assorted things to potentially take and lose. Yeah. And Joe, to your point about South not showing the Queen of Spades, we don't actually know, I guess, what their exclusion responses are, right? If they, I guess, 5 spades is probably 2 without the queen, but you're right that when partner is shown 4 card support, we have an extra spade, and so we see that we can show the queen because we know that we have a 10 card fit missing the queen. And we see
Diamond
the
lead will put him to the test right away because he
well, but
can't.
he's only in 6. The other table they did in fact get to 7
Oh, they
and
got to 7.
went down 1.
Went down.
So you can maybe go have a look at that after the play here and see what happened there.
Interesting. I mean, with the roughing finesse on in hearts, you can make 7 even if you go up with the ace of diamonds here.
Well, you have just a ton of handling to do.
Yeah, there's work to do, obviously, but
the king 10 third of hearts really makes a difference. If it was just king third, that might not be the case. But
yeah,
so. But yeah, so this sort of highlight, this sort of decision and guess here, right, kind of highlights why choosing to bid exclusion perhaps was a bit of a blunt instrument, as Eli Culbertson said in the chat, right? It's a meat cleaver when a paring knife would do a better job. It may have been better to go slow and try to learn a little bit more about what partners' red suit holdings were. So it looks like they did, in fact, make 7 here. So let me just pull up real quick what happened at the other table. Greg, this will be a little bit harder to see for you, but at least on the stream chat.
I have BBO open.
Yeah, so they did also bid exclusion. They showed extra length, or they showed the queen at the other table rather than denied the queen, because as we were talking about, you have that 6 spade. And then North just jumped to 7 spades. And so the play here, they got a club lead, which was roughed, and they drew. And he wound up taking a heart finesse, so he got the heart guess wrong, basically. And it is sort of a odd spot because it's kind of a two-way guess, right? You can either rough out the play to rough out the king or play to take a heart finesse. But so today that was, of course, playing a heart to the queen was a big loser, and finished down 1. So, all right. So back to the action.
It's interesting. I mean, can't you have the timing to play heart to the ace, rough a heart, rough a club, rough a heart, and then like if nothing works, you can then take the diamond finesse to fall back on. Right? Is that enough tricks?
No, I don't think so, because you have so many club losers to deal with too, right? If you only rough 2 clubs in the dummy, you need 2 pitches for 2 more clubs, right?
Well, I said without drawing any trump, because you got the club lead. He can just like rough a thing, ace of hearts, rough a heart, rough a club, rough a heart, and if nothing good has happened, you can still rough a club. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, maybe if it doesn't work out, you're just in risk of stuff getting over rough when this
right. Like you're missing the 10 of spades, which is kind of a pain because
it's problematic.
At a certain point that 10 starts to grow up if you're having to rough high a bit.
Right. Yeah, it would feel silly to try a line like this and just discover that the king of hearts was just onside the whole time.
Well, onside can mean one of two. Like it's a two-way heart guess, right? There is no such thing as onside, But yeah, like I have a lot of sympathy for the heart finesse. Certainly if it wins, you're in much better shape.
Right, and also it's true that any king third on your left is good, whereas like the roughing finesse probably needs king 10 third. Is it true? Because you're gonna have to use one of your
potentially
because you can pick up 10 fourth.
Right, it's a little tricky.
It's complicated.
So here we see they had sort of a fairly simple, spade and no trump, 3 no trump. So South choosing to upgrade their 17, I suppose, and catching partner with a pretty minimum, semi-forcing no trump, or forcing no trump. But we'll see the play. I mean, the spade spots here are pulling a lot of weight in 3 now, right? Declare if they get spades right. Could take 4 spades, 2 hearts, 2 diamonds, and maybe build a club trick in time. Or even a diamond trick, as the diamonds are friendly. Let's see.
They're gonna have trouble getting to their diamond trick.
Yes, that is true. Well, and now that they've gotten spades wrong, this is not going to be a very fun hand for them
No.
because they still need to build club tricks. They still have now the defense has two hearts and two clubs ready to cash for down one already, and that's before anything else happens. So um, certainly this is not an
Most
easy
beginner
make.
most beginner bridge players learn that rebidding two no trump shows your like balanced hands that were a little bit too good to open a no trump. And so this jump to three no trump by the declarer is probably unfamiliar
Well, it's
to
also
many.
unsystemic, right? You have a balanced 17 count. Your partner
I'm
just
not suggesting it's
made
a
a noise.
good bid. I'm just saying I bet there are a lot of people scratching their heads saying like, why would you like why not just if you're going to do that, why not just rebid two no?
And the head scratchers, I would say, are probably correct.
Okay.
At least, at least
But
for me,
I see this a lot. Like I see it. I'm not suggesting these are club players. These are obviously world class players. But yeah, I see this a lot. Like at a bridge club, you'll see it go like a club of spade, or like a club of no trump three no trump, or a spade and no trump three no trump. And the guy's like, well, I had 19, and partner responded, so we got six, and they do this math, and then they're like, well, that's 25. They say, okay, well, what would a two no bid show? And they're like 18, 19. What did you have? 19. But
right, right.
it's hard. It's this hand
Yes.
has a lot of playing potential. It's got two long suits. I'm not like unsympathetic to the idea that three no could just be a claimer opposite the right seven count and you'll never find it.
Yeah, I'm pretty unsympathetic, I have to say. I mean, when partner passes 2-0, the chances that you're making three are pretty small, and the chances that you're just going like three down as they did in 3-0, when there was no reason to be anywhere near it, is pretty high, I would say. Um, so yeah, I'm actually very unsympathetic to 3-0. And for me, systemically, I normally, even regardless of whether or not I'm playing any sort of Bard or Gazilli or whatever else, I think 3-0 usually is like that 18-19 hand with a sixth spade, right? So
Yeah.
it's essentially it's like 6-3-2-2, kind of like a 2-no trump rebid, except you have an extra card in your long suit. Um,
Right.
and so that, especially for playing no trump, is pretty powerful, and can sort of justify jumping to slam a whole lot more, or jumping to game rather, a whole lot more than when you have a random scatter, a random 17 count. Um,
Hmm. I think I'm
so
getting way out analyzed by Eli Culbertson in chat here.
yes, so let's see, club rough.
You're still talking about the seven spade here.
Yeah, I think Eli might be right in chat here that
Yeah.
playing to rough out the heart and falling back on a diamond finesse may in fact be better. Um, so it's like it's I don't think it's I think it's probably close, right? We're probably talking differences of a few percent, um, but it's very possible. I will trust people who are better at math than I am and are focused on doing the math on that. So here we see Finn just choosing to open one to start, which seems reasonable. But when the opponents start bidding, just jumping to five and saying, "Okay, let's get this over with," right? And he will have the same, I guess, five losers that he came with, since Zach's dummy offers no help whatsoever. Um, but I guess I
It's
should.
usually a relief to see a dummy like that, though, right? Like you'd much rather go down three and then go down one and discover like they weren't making anything. And partner puts down a bunch of random defense.
Right, right. Well, and I suppose this is maybe an argument for bidding only four diamonds, but it's really with the West Hand, at worst you're going down three pretty much, and you have one defensive trick and partner passed over a diamond of spade. So, I think 5 diamonds is practical.
Right. It's not like you're going to bid 4 diamonds and like
Right, you're
then
not going to
choose
sell the
to
4 spades.
defend for yeah.
Yeah.
The all you're hoping for is that 4 diamonds somehow gets doubled or passed out. Or, it's weird. Chad is being unkind about the 3 note.
Yes, I can't say I am a fan of the 3 no. I think I think it's deserving of at least a little bit of needling. But
have you ever partnered Steve Weinstein in anything?
yes, yes.
He I don't know if he does this with you, but the couple times I got to play with him, if he thinks I've done something dumb on a hand, he puts a little dot next to it on the scorecard. And it's what he calls it. He's like, you get a dot for that. And sometimes if it's really egregiously dumb, you'll get like a double dot. And you could see him doing it too. Like he does it on his card with a flourish. Like he takes the cap off his pen, like dot, like from up on high. Like in case you didn't already know that you're a moron and you did something dumb. You're gonna have to hear about it later at dinner. Maybe 3 no gets a dot.
I think 3 no for me is at least one. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's me or I'm not sure if it's my computer that's having a little bit of a time or yours, but it seems like every time that it switches to your video, it kind of flashes a little bit.
Flashes.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on there.
Oh yeah, I am seeing some flickering.
Yeah,
I mean that's
I am
that's
not
what I
sure
mean.
whether that's
Ooh.
yeah. It seems like it's a me thing because it happens.
That can't be
to me
my
too.
computer. I built my computer myself.
I have to admit, I have not built my computer. Okay, now it seems to improve a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely some sweet spot of distance between you and the microphone. If you're too close, it sounds like you swallowed it, and if you're too far away, it sounds like you're, too far away. Uh,
Okay, how's this? Better?
that's the swallowing.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I
There
am
we
no longer.
go. That's the Adam Kaplan voice I know and love.
All right.
And there's the
Cool.
500.
Yes. So this is unsurprisingly 3 down. And I would imagine it should be a push. I mean, it's really hard not to bid 5 diamonds. Yeah, I have no idea what the flickering is about. It might just be my computer protesting all the things that are happening right now. Um, that's kind of the only thing I can think of. But
Well, I mean, the good news is, as Jolly will confirm, my voice sounds great all the time.
it does. It does.
Ooh.
So let's see.
I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but I am watching the other table.
Okay. You have fun with that.
It's pretty fun. It
We are
is
finally
pretty
a
fun
little,
over
little
there.
bit ahead of the other table, which is good.
Yeah,
Uh,
fast
but
table is where you want to be.
yes. Yes. So we'll be able to go back and, I guess, see at least a couple boards from the other table. But so here we see. I would imagine East West will probably find themselves in game.
I was half wondering if North was going to open a spade.
If they're having a competition as to who can open the worst Drek, then certainly.
I mean, like 20 years ago, when I was still not eligible for the juniors, everyone was like, "Oh, these kids are opening so light, and they're opening all these 11-point hands, and oh my God, like I can't play against them." And that trend seems to have continued.
It is true. So here, I guess Zach rebidding 2 clubs. Finn may just go low, and pass 2 clubs, seeing as they do open aggressively. But
Sorry, your analysis is spot on as always. I was laughing at you and saying that my voice is available on the App Store for $4.99 as a sleep aid. I will happily sell you recordings of my voice to lull your children to sleep. You had a two-person view for video?
Yeah, I had yesterday. I had gotten rid of the scorecard and had essentially moved people down there. So today, trying out with the scorecard in the bottom right, so that we can see sort of what happened on boards, and
I support this
then
plan. I think the scorecard is more important than my face.
yeah, I don't know. There's definitely like I could play around a little bit with the screen real estate and see what works best. But we see the other table appears to have appear to have won an imp for playing in four spades, making six. So
Yeah, they just opened that hand four diamonds
ah,
and took
I see.
no further calls.
Yeah, I really don't like four diamonds. I would dot four diamonds because we could just be cold for three now, right? I have king queen jack eighth and an outside ace. Like I could just be so cold for three now, and I open four diamonds, and it's pretty hard to get back to 3-0 when I do that.
Four diamonds would not be my choice, but man, the dots are flying.
They are, they are, and yeah, so Finn did choose to go low and pass Zach's two clubs, which I really can't blame him for. Like, it's not really a great fitting hand. You have a 10 count, partner opens, God knows what. Yeah, I mean, yes, partner is vulnerable, so they'll be a little bit more sound for sure. But even still, you need a fair amount for game to really be good. And if partner has the right hand, a lot of times they might have jump rebid three clubs or done something, or raised two spades or done something else.
Yeah, I think this is a really, really valuable lesson. I think a lot of people see that 10 count and they look at partner's two club rebid and they're like, well, he could still have 15. And like, I need to keep the auction alive in case blah, blah, blah. And so they trot out 2-no Trump and then discover that, their optimism was unfounded. Missed beer opportunity. Oh, no.
Uh-huh. His diamond spots were good enough. Yeah, that is true. So
That's a
Finn
dot.
will be, Finn will be happy to. Yes, that is a dot. Partner never has 15. That's true because they would open 2-no Trump.
Yeah, apparently. You can't possibly have 15.
Well, I mean, there's a 3 point, right? It's 14 to 16 and like 19 to 21, right? So if it's a 3 point spread. So if you 14 to 16 evaluates down to 12, then 15s go into 2 now, right?
Well, I mean, he didn't show a balanced hand.
Okay. Those are details. We'll work on those. So here, actually, Finn has a hand that I think I would open a no Trump with a single.
I like it. I like
there
it a lot.
There were a few of these yesterday, actually, that came up all in a row.
It's going to freeze north-south out of this auction, too.
Unless South opens the bidding ahead of them.
Well, South's going to, yeah, if West were to open the bidding, yeah.
Yes.
Ooh. South.
However, North-South would be delighted probably not to really be in this auction when they get a chance to defend to a major. Zach bidding garbage Stamen. When Finn will happily correct to two spades, but this is the sort of auction as a defender where you hear this auction and you don't actually look at your trump holding before putting a trump on the table. Like you legitimately do not look like King Jack third of trump into the no trump opener. Great, sign me up. Like I would lead a trump. I mean, especially with the north hand having no other clear lead, but.
Right,
These are the sorts of auctions where you put a trump on the table and be done with it.
Yeah, it's 100%. Like, even if you're blowing a trick, that trick is going to come back. Like, what's he going to do with all of Dummy's hearts, if not rough them?
Yeah, I mean, King third of hearts isn't a great holding for doing that.
Never mind.
Seems North does not agree with me. But I think this is the sort of auction that when the opponents show two suits take a preference, you really you know you want to get trumps going so that declare can't ruff their second suit, and sort of have play on some sort of cross rough line. Here today, a diamond lead doesn't actually blow all that much. It kind of blows a tempo, but South can still return a trump, and South is looking at the ace 10 9 8 of hearts, so they know what this hand is about, right?
Yeah.
They can put a trump on the table, but interestingly, if kind of need to put a trump honor on the table, otherwise North will win and be like, oh no, I don't know if I can return trumps safely.
Right. It's not like the 3 of spades shows an honor.
Right.
It's tough.
Although I suppose what are we playing clubs about? What are we don't want roughs. We want to stop them from getting roughs. Like this is where I think South knows that Declara has the ace of diamonds. They have probably at most a doubleton heart. They have 3 spades, so they must have at least 4. And partner led the third best diamond, so Declarer must have, or should have probably 4 diamonds. Maybe I suppose they could have 3, but it means that Declarer has long clubs. So we really don't want to be shifting to clubs and establishing Declarer's long suit. We want to be playing trumps and stopping them from taking roughs.
Yeah, nobody wants to play a trump.
Well, I mean, South. I don't know why South is allergic to playing trump. They have, what are Mike Queen 10 third of trump going to do on this hand? Yes, okay. Maybe I can overruff the dummy once, but like, I have so many heart winners, right? I have great heart spots. Like I don't know.
There's just it's like when you're declaring, Kit Woolsey's here. When you're declaring, you make a plan, right? And as a defender, you also need a plan. And some of that plan involves looking at dummy and figuring out where your tricks are coming from. And some of it involves trying to reverse engineer Declarer's plan. And here, like, Declarer's plan is kind of known from the auction. And certainly when you have ace 10 9 8 of hearts and you're looking at jack 5th and dummy, Declarer's plan is known.
Yes.
Although I guess if Declarer is going to try to ruff clubs and you're going to get to over rough, maybe do you still have time to? No, because you can just
not really. Like every trick that goes by, it would have been better to play a trump on the previous trick. But eventually, there'll be no more cards except trumps, and so we will have.
The only time I'm
eventually.
more inclined to lead a trump than against a garbage statement auction is against a doubled part score or against Kit Woolsey. I always lead trumps against Kit.
Hi, Adam. Kit bounced.
Greg.
Hey. Good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I circulated the link to a few people. So thank you for joining, Kit. We hopefully it's good to have a third person in here with us today.
I can't see anything on your screen where it says I'm viewing Adam Kaplan's screen. Should I be seeing something?
Probably.
Yeah, Adam's got the view graph.
I have the view graph going, so you might need to like either. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure there, but you can also bring up the view graph on BBO yourself and follow along there, and
we're at
those are one of the same. So.
We're at Zach and Finn's table right now.
Yes,
I'm gonna do that and see what's going on. Yes. If I can.
So here, it seems like South was so enthralled with getting their overruffs that they played Finn to have a doubleton heart, understandably, but. They were so focused on getting overruffs that they were planning to play a heart and give partner a heart ruff to get another club ruff. But now this is given Finn an extra heart trick to work with. So he may choose to ruff a diamond to dummy, cash the jack of hearts, and that's probably all she wrote in terms of tricks, though, because he's running out of winners and trumps.
Diamond, rough, jack of hearts, ace of spades. Looks like 2 down.
Yeah. Maybe you could try to ruff another heart and hope to have something good happen.
Yeah. Hearts could be 3-3, sure.
Yeah. So yeah. Yep. And so now, I guess. Oh, I guess actually Zach could have played, or Finn could have played ace and a spade there, and it might have been, like had the if the defense was not careful, they might have had to give him a club trick at the end. But today, with it being king jack and queen and the queen, that would not, of course, be the case. So here, one way or the other, despite as much over roughing and whatever else is going on, they can't stop him from taking the ace of trump.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Whoa.
What happened there? Okay, maybe they.
Surely not.
Right. That probably is a slight VGraph error, but yeah.
Right.
There we go.
6 strings. Okay. Yeah.
So yes, the other table, I guess, opened a no trump and caught a transfer from their partner, which is even less fun to play. So that'll be 3 imps for Finn's triple going down 3. And
I think I know the answer to this, but what's your opinion about transferring to hearts versus garbage statement here?
I think it's really one of the things that's relevant is whether a partner prefers heart with equal length. Which one do they prefer? Right. A lot of people seem to like to play that partner prefers spades with equal length, and that opens up a little bit of flexibility for some hands with like spades and diamonds potentially. I think. Is that right? I guess it opens up some hands where when you have 5 spades and 4 hearts, then of course you can bid garbage statement and be happy about it. But it does sacrifice hands like this where you kind of want to be able to. So we see the other table did in fact open no trump and just get transferred and left in 2 hearts. And that was not a great success. So, but yeah. So I mean, I think that as long as partner will prefer spades to hearts with equal length, I think transferring is probably right, and just trying to play in a 5-2 at worst, or today life sucks, it's a 5-1, but I don't know. And to cover the question in chat that surprise South passed, I think red in second seat with sort of a scattered 11. Yes, you have reasonable spots, but my style at least would not be to open. Certainly, if you're playing a strong club or a very aggressive style, you probably would choose to open. But
do you know if I know the ACBL changed their regulations recently about opening no trump with singletons? Do you know if the WBF has any rules about like it has to be ace king or queen or?
I don't believe they do. And Chip in the chat making a good point that preferring spades gets the stronger hand declaring and can handle 4-5-2-2 with a 7 or 8 count, since you can then bid 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 2 spades, 2 no, to sort of still recover that. So yes, the ACBL has more restrictions, but yes, exactly. You do have to disclose. And we see the directors at the table about the singleton and declares hand. So I don't believe there's any restrictions on this. But
I would
probably
I mean, if anything, I think it's less restrictive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Than ACBL land.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good use for that auction. 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 2 spades, 2 no. I know. With someone I had played that auction shows like a raise to 2-0 that was afraid of the spade suits, like a 1-4, like a 1-4 in the majors or something with like an 8 count. Where if partner bids spades, I'll invite. Or if partner prefers spades, I'll invite. But if partner prefers hearts, I'm happy to play there. But I think Chip's treatment is better.
Yeah, I would agree. It's been a while since that's come up, but yes, I do like preferring spades to hearts and being able to have, exactly as Chip described, a way to sort of survive some of those marginal invites. So here it looks like north-south are playing transfers. They're playing some sort of short club system. I don't know if they're playing what their no-trump range is exactly, but I would be tempted to open a no-trump if it was in range. But here, this one diamond is a transfer showing 4 or more hearts. And
it's true. It is funny to call the director about something your teammates also did.
Well, to be fair, he doesn't know that the teammates did that, right? Because they don't get to see the comparisons as we do.
It's funny to me.
Okay.
Club of diamond is spade. Yeah. I also don't know what their no-trump range is, and there's no convention cards linked. Although if there were convention cards linked, I wouldn't have any confidence they would be the right ones, and Zach's are wrong.
Right. But yes, so 4 spades today seems pretty solid. Had they let diamonds going, or gotten diamonds going, they would have been able to take 2 diamonds and a heart pretty easily. But now Declare can draw trumps, pitch the diamonds on the long clubs, and probably will make 6. Especially because the 10 of clubs sort of it alleviates any need to unblock the club suit a bit. Declare can just kind of bang, win the K of clubs, draw some trumps, bang high clubs from his hand, pitching diamonds, take a heart finesse, and claim. So.
Actually, both of you might be able to answer this. How do you adjust, if at all, how do you adjust your approach or play when you're sitting down against one of the teams in the round robin that you really feel like you should or need to blitz because they're weaker? Do you do anything different, or do you just sort of hope that the cards are favorable to you?
No difference at all as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, none for me either. Like I think most of the time, if we're the stronger team or if we're the favorite, right, I'm much better off sitting in my chair and just collecting the things that come to me than taking wild swings and risking something bad happening.
I'm not worried. I'm not wondering about wild swings, but sometimes there are these marginal hands where you're like, maybe I could talk myself into upgrading this into a no trump, but like you sort of know that the other table's not going to do it. And
are you talking about a situation where it's a last match of the round robin and I know I need a blitz?
No. I mean, like you're in the round robin and you're playing against one of the very weak teams.
Oh no, play totally normally.
Okay.
The last thing you want is swings, is to generate swings, because you're going to beat them without them.
Yeah.
Presumably.
I was thinking of plays that sort of have inherent built-in variance, like you upgrade a 13-point hand into your 15 to 17 no trump.
No, if anything, you should avoid them.
Right. I think Chip's point in chat, though, that you maybe bid a little bit more aggressively or accept invites more aggressively is very valid, because you do anticipate that, if there is a defense to let you make it, these opponents are perhaps more likely to find it. But, I would say that's a pretty small swing or a pretty small difference.
I would do that against anybody. So what difference does it make?
That's true. Yeah, I guess the right attitude is you sit down at every match thinking that they're, you're going to wipe the floor with your opponents. So.
No, but I'm going to, bid aggressively.
Yeah.
And that's just winning bridge.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you're playing against.
That's good.
Yeah. And so here, South has a hand that if partner was not passed and if they were not vulnerable, I would be tempted to make a takeout double with. But, I certainly with the combination of partner being a passed hand and being vulnerable limits the upside of bidding at all very, very much. And so I think choosing to pass is reasonable and correct. And after it goes 2-0, all pass
Certainly
probably.
correct on it. on this hand.
Yeah, yeah.
If partner were an unpassed hand, would you try to take out double here?
I
Hope to survive.
read. I think. I honestly, I think I would. I would, because there's too much upside in getting the majors in, and if I don't bid now, I'm not going to get to bid. So operator probably will need to undo this 3 club bid. Presumably, this was made by
These
Finn.
strong feelings either way.
Yes.
This is presumably like a wolf sign up for a transfer to diamonds or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Finn choosing to, rather than shoot out 2-0, play in 3 diamonds, which seems reasonable. Because his hand, he knows his hand is worth something with diamonds as trump, whereas in 2-0 it might just, especially with a stiff club, which is his partner's long suit, if any, 2-0 looks pretty ugly. So
I just noticed that they're playing a different number of boards from the match we watched a little bit of at the beginning.
yes, that's correct. So the
They're 12 board
U26s are playing 12 board matches, and the U21s and all of the other matches, in fact, I believe, are 14 board matches, which leads to this weird sort of timing imbalance where the U26s have a different start time than all of the others. Say that again, Kit? Oh, okay. So South choosing to lead a heart rather than a spade, which I don't really love, but that will blow a heart trick today.
You always love to see a heart lead when you have ace king jack.
Yes, or when you have 3 deuce doubleton, like, thank you, partner. This is very helpful. I will play my discouraging 3 on that.
Yeah, imagine how much nicer this would have been if it went like king of spades, maybe even ducked and then a diamond through.
Right. Well, so now North-South, though, can threaten a heart ruff, right? And so now North can get a heart ruff with their little trump, and they will get the trick back as long as they're careful. But if they start, let's say, getting rid of entries in their own hand, that might be a little trickier, right? And we see...
Oof. Looks like North needed to play the 10 on that.
Yeah. I think they play standard, which is why Zach ducked, is because he saw the 7 and thought, oh, maybe they'll... but, South should be able to figure this out.
Yeah, you can see the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Right, exactly. So
also, the play of the 10 would deny the jack. That's the important thing.
Yes.
Of course, on the other hand, if you play the 10, and declare wins the ace, now the suit is frozen.
Right.
Exactly. And yes, as Chip says in chat, now that South has removed all of their entries to give their partner a ruff, this will now be making, because they'll be able to pitch the heart loser on the king of clubs and draw the last trump. Or I guess they can do the trump drawing first, but regardless, this was sort of a missed opportunity for North-South to beat 3 diamonds here. The heart lead, even though it gave up a trick in theory, they could have still gotten that trick back through this ruff. So this is the last board here at this table. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the other table in a second as soon as we get a result on this board, so we can watch them. We can watch what they're doing on this 3 diamond board as well, and then we will probably call it there. So we'll see what the other table is up to. So we can switch over, because we sort of know the result here, which is 3 diamonds east making.
We did get to see Zach drawing the last trump with the 6.
Yes. Yeah. So here we see that South did in fact make a takeout double, which I really, facing a past partner vulnerable, I think you get what you deserve when you double with this, right? Partner bids a no trump, and you get to play one vulnerable no trump and be sad about it. But So we'll see how Kevin fares in one now. Seems like he got off to a good start with the opponents leading a lot of high clubs at him. So perhaps he actually has. He might actually be making this now. Isn't he? Let's see. He can win the diamond, or he can duck the diamond, win the second one. But his problem is that Dummy is going to get squeezed as he runs his minor suit things, right? And even though, in theory, had he maybe ducked the diamond and tried to make something work, he might have been able to make it. I think he's playing for a safe down one, just being thankful that he's not going down 3 or something, right?
Yeah. And his teammates have a pretty nice result to cover him.
They do. I mean, I think the double facing a past partner is just asking for problems. But here, since Kevin couldn't really afford to duck the Queen of Diamonds, because then they could just dump him in dummy and trap him there. Now the defense still has communication to cash their winners and run their diamonds, and I think West is going to score a defensive beer.
Nice.
Look at that. Nice.
And he plays it out for
Of course he does. Okay.
For style points.
So that is the end of this match. It looks like USA1 beat France by 13 M's. We are, I guess, finished for today because that is the end of our full 12 words. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks, Greg and Kit, for joining. And
Chat thinks that you didn't make your feelings about the double sufficiently clear.
Okay, dot. I dot the double.
It's a dot.
Yes. So we will be back tomorrow and should have hopefully another good match tomorrow. And yeah, this is always fun. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and stop the stream in just a second. And I guess, actually, before I do that, I should throw the link to results again in chat so that people can see that as they wish. And there we go. Have that. And here. There you go. That should be, I believe, all of the U26 results, unless I copied the wrong link. But in any case, thanks, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow at same time, 10:45 Eastern. And see you soon. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone.